So in this video, we're going to be shooting into the topic of how to get every single thing that you want. And what I'm going to get you to do is think very, very clearly about how much money you want to make, how much travel you want to do, what kind of social relationships you want to have, what kind of hobbies you want to have, what kind of legacy that you want to leave, but most importantly, what it is that you want to prioritize. Now, the reason that I say this is that my own process of doing this day to day is I'm always laying out exactly what it is that I want out of life. And then what I'm doing is I'm auditing the way that I'm using my time and seeing my current trajectory. And then what I'm doing is prioritizing which things are the most valuable to me and which things are the least valuable to me. So this is the idea of prioritization. In this video, we're going to go very, very deep on that and get you thinking about how to prioritize what it is that you want out of your life. Now, if you like this and you want to go a lot deeper, then what I'd say you make a top priority is jumping into the program Endless Motivation. And this video is a preview for the upcoming program Endless Motivation. If you're seeing it, it's already out and we're smashing it. What I'd like you to do is click the link below and jump into Endless Motivation. And what we're going to be doing in there is showing you a lot more video content, but also you're going to be joining a community and also talking to me in person and my team in person about how to absolutely change your life. And having that kind of community support and my support and the actual course material itself is going to be so transformational. I did this specifically because what I see happening is that you might be watching videos like mine, and the content sounds pretty cool, and you say to yourself that you want to go do it, but it winds up becoming entertainment or a form of self-soothing or a form of productive procrastination. And I just got sick of that. I got sick of meeting people on the street who say, oh, you changed my life. And I say, well, what's your actual change in results? And while I've had a lot of people that have huge change in results, and there's also a segment of people that don't have a change in results. And frankly, even the people who have a major change in results, they could be doing 1,000 times better. So I'm going to be showing you the exact processes that I use and my exact understandings that I've had over many, many years to build an 8-figure business, to build world-class skill sets, to do incredible parties and have incredible social skills, and to have incredible, incredible vitality so that I pretty much just gain energy from work. I don't get tired from it. I'd be teaching you all of this. And frankly, this could be the most important information that you ever learn. Click the link below and jump into the program right now while it's hot on your mind. It's going to change your life forever. And in the meantime, get ready to watch this content on how to prioritize your life. Let's do it. Where I want to take us next is I want to get you to a point whereas temptations to distract yourself, to numb yourself, to medicate yourself, to escape yourself, to waste your time, to take shortcuts, as those come up, I want to get it to where it's absolutely effortless and that you're not being forced to resist these things. I want to get rid of any internal resistance that you have. And the reason why I want to do this is I want to recapture willpower. So understand that willpower is like this limited muscle in a given day. You think that you have total control over your willpower. You don't. And basically the way that you want to think about it is something like, and I don't know the exact number, but it's something like 90% of your day is spent in autopilot, basically having the same thoughts and doing the same behavior, but in little different kind of sequences, but it feels as though it's new and it's fresh, but it's something like 90% or 99% or whatever is basically the same thoughts, words, and actions almost every day on this kind of a loop. So why is it exactly that we have this autopilot function in the brain? What it is that your mind is trying to spare energy so that when you have to figure something out, you have more resources available to think about things that are really, really hard. So you might have had it to where maybe you're tying your shoes. Do you notice how at this point your fingers can tie your shoes on autopilot? You don't need to consciously think about it. But what if I were to give you some new type of knot? Say that it was a bow line or a reef knot or things like that, right? Well, then at that point, you've got to think about it, how you're tying the knot. That's going to burn more mental energy, right? Or likewise, you ever have it where maybe you're driving by the exit where you'd get off to go to work, but it's the weekend, and you accidentally pull off, and you think to yourself, why did I say that? You ever had it where the new person that you're dating, you call them the old person? You know, things like that, right? And that's autopilot, right? It's your brain trying to save time and energy. It's very, very natural and normal that we have that. Your brain your brain deliberately makes it where it actually gives you, I don't know if it's cortisol or stress or what, but if I were to start giving you, say, long division to do right now, say I give you long division, your brain will actually make it hurt a little bit to sit there doing long division, unless you're like a mathematician or somebody who does this all the time. But if you're somebody who doesn't do long division regularly, and I tell you to do it, it'll make your mind tired. If I tell you to write out an essay based on what you learned so far, your mind will make it kind of like a resistance or tired to go and do that. It does this because it wants to discourage you from burning too much energy, okay? So even something like, say, walking a couple miles, your body is trying to make that tiring because what would basically happen if you don't have these internal kind of governors is that you'd sit there going like this all day, running in circles going like this all day, and you just keep doing it till you starve to death. Do you understand this? Okay, if you didn't have laziness, if you didn't want to take less effort, you'd probably starve to death. I've heard that thinking is something like 20% of our caloric intake. I don't know if that's true, but imagine if that is true, and then you're sitting there thinking, all day long just thinking and thinking, well, then you could starve yourself. So your body's created in such a way that you get cortisol and resistance around anything that's not autopilot. This is what advertisers understand, some deliberately, some intuitively, that if they can get you in the habit of eating Dunkin' Donuts every morning, you're just in that autopilot, you're just going to keep doing it. So what winds up happening is that you have a sense of what life could be. You've got social media. You see who you could be dating, what you could be doing, where you could be working. You've got all that. But you can't get yourself to actually execute on those things, which really, really, really sucks. And I understand completely what that feels like. So that, for me, is the major reason why I think a lot of us in this room have low self-esteem. You know what your potential is. You know what kind of life you could live. Year after year, decade after decade is burning by. You're not getting there, and then what you're even saying to yourself is, no, I'm going to get there eventually. But if we actually did an audit, I predict that you are not remotely on a trajectory to get even 5% of what it is that you're thinking you're going to get out of life. Then what's going to happen is, as you get older, you start to put up these various white flags. You start to capitulate. So the way that you capitulate is you say, you know what, I once attended this seminar, and there was this guy, take it was this seminar. There was this guy, Owen, and he was all like hyped up. Man, that guy looked kind of stressed, right? Now, I'm making this a laser-focused seminar, but you've seen other seminars where all I'm doing is clowning the entire time. You've seen real-life interaction footage of me where I'm clowning the entire time. You've seen my Instagram story, I'm clowning the entire time. So this is just one element of who I am. It's kind of the foundation, like the laser, that I use to put myself in a position to be clowning on the stage in front of, a couple 100,000 viewers at that time, or things like that. So what I'm trying to show you here is basically that your mind is going to resist anything that's not autopilot. You're not on a trajectory to get to where it is that you want to go. Your time, energy, focus, and momentum is being preyed upon by external forces. And that basically you're at a low level of impulse control. You're at a low level of momentum. You're at a low level of focus. And to begin to get into momentum with knocking down goals is tough. And so what'll happen is year after year goes by, and eventually you hit the point where you'll throw up the white flag, and here's what you'll say. That Owen guy, like I was saying, that Owen guy looked kind of stressed. I'm kind of just happy, just spending a little bit of time with my kids. The simple things in life. Watching the ball game, eating a hamburger, drinking a brewski, as we say in Canada. Right? Talking to my friends. That's what I get value from. And there's nothing wrong with that. Getting value out of spending time with your friends, or getting value even from drinking a beer, watching a ball game. Amazing. Look, I don't drink beer myself, but that's not a bad, having a drink is probably watching a ball game could be a big form of relaxation. Hey, you know what it's about? I've got this nice park near my house, and I just go there every day with my dog, and my dog runs around. I love my dog, and I value my relationship with my dog, right? I don't need to be a billionaire. I don't need, to go see the whole world. I don't need to be this person with this perfect inner game. I don't need to date all these people. I don't need to have the social life. And by the way, that is going to happen to you as you get older, whether you like it or not. You're going to find your mind is capitulating whether you like it or not. So one thing that you can do right now that will even help you as you move forward is promise yourself that you're going to be wary of capitulation. Okay, repeat after me. Be wary, of capitulation. Say, be wary of capitulation.
Be wary of capitulation.
Okay, so in other words, it means that you have year after year passing by on autopilot, year after year unable to take control of your life, and as your life progresses, you start to hit your 40s and 50s, maybe even 30s, and you say to yourself, I don't want to go see Glacier National Park. I don't want to go ski those ski hills. I don't really care who it is that I date. I don't really care that I just watch television most of the time. I like this show. I like Game of Thrones. It's actually awesome. It's very, very easy to begin capitulating. Now, one thing that I want to contrast this with, what is one of the things that I did at the beginning of this event here? I said, don't tell me you're going to become a billionaire. Remember that? Don't give me this crap. So notice that I'm already right there with you in the capitulation to an extent. Okay? It's just that it's the more healthy version. In other words, what I'm saying is, don't pick some crazy, ridiculous thing like the bill. Again, if I put this out on video, there's probably going to be 5 or 10 people that watch this that'll be the billionaire. Okay? Like maybe 5 or 10 in total. I've coached people, believe it or not, I've actually coached people that went on to become billionaires. It's like kind of a crazy thing. Some major, major famous ones that took my events in like 2002. Okay? One of them has a blocky head. I'm like, that's him? And things like that. Okay? And you might even see him having some of the same views as me that he expresses. So I've coached people. I've coached a lot of the people from big tech, a lot of the people from San Francisco. A lot of my 2002 trainings in San Francisco when I was like an idiot kid, the people on those events are people that you look up to now as captains of industry. And they actually watched my content for years. And they also watch other people's content and they did their own work. So it's not as though that can't happen. I probably have as high of a track record just because I was around, coaching in San Francisco back in 2002. I probably have as high of a track record of seeing people that watch my content and learn from me to become billionaires as anybody. I'm not saying it can't happen. But those are specific industries where that's a possibility of happening. And there's a real trajectory there where that might happen. And personally, I wouldn't trade my life for theirs. I actually think most of them, their lives are kind of boring. It's not really what I would want to do. I want to do things that are creative, things that I find fun and engaging and legacy-oriented. But you know what? They themselves like what it is they do. I think the vast majority of them do like it. So it's kind of this weird thing. Like, I wouldn't trade my life for theirs, but then again, if I did trade for theirs, then I would like it. So it's this kind of like weird thing. Anyway, I'm on a bit of a tangent. So what I'm saying, though, is that regarding the capitulation, notice that I didn't give you some crazy, stupid goal and then say, don't capitulate from it. What I'm saying is, what do you actually want? And then don't capitulate from it. That's all that I'm saying. What do you actually want? And then just kind of go from there. And you might find that as you go, you are overly ambitious and you might remove certain elements of it. But overall, you want to be zoning in on what it is that you can do. Another thing you can do, by the way, is time for free play, free time. Time to just wank it, just time to do whatever you want to do. So, it's one of these things where you've got to make a choice of, what you want your life to look like. I'm not telling you, you can't walk your dog. You can't, look at the internet. You can't have a crusty keyboard from time to time. I'm not telling you that. All that I'm saying is consciously decide how crusty you want your keyboard to get. Just consciously decide. There's a lot of clapping there, right? It's like my keyboard is at a 6 out of 10 crusts. And as soon as I can't push those keys, I know I've been lazy. So it's one of these things where, I'm not saying that you need to go have some ego trip to conquer the whole world to know who you are. All that I'm saying is begin to scope down on what it is that you want so that other outside forces can't prey on your time and focus and momentum and steal it from you. That's all that I'm really saying here. I'm not sitting here, trying to become this like transcendent billionaire, like that'd be cool and all, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I've got goals that I think are realistic, and then I'm just looking to knock those down every day, execute them, and move forward to build a life that I want. And again, the proof is in the pudding. If you've looked at, say, a little bit of my dating life, you guys might even know some people I've dated. You might look at the places that I've been. You might look at the business that I built a business I'm passionate about, and just see my basic levels of results. There was other things that got on the back burner. I had it where for over a decade I trained in the gym. Last couple years I didn't because I just wanted to be on the road. And you know what? When I'm on the road and you're sitting there in the middle of some podunk town because you're out in Montana and they got a hamburger and you're choosing between like intermittent fasting and a hamburger, and I've just come out from hiking by a grizzly bear, I just want to eat the hamburger. Okay? So that's what I chose. And I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying you're not going to pick every single thing. You'll probably see me by my 50s actually in great shape because I'm going to live longer doing that. And that'll become a priority as well. So use that simple thing as an example for there's going to be things that are priority and things that aren't. That's just how it is. For me, the last couple of years, my priority was travel. So obviously, other things fell to the wayside. I tell people I traveled 270 days a year for 2.5 years, and they're like, that's amazing. I bet your business is bigger than ever too, right? Like these idiots that have accomplished nothing just talking out of nowhere. Like, I traveled 270 days out of 365 days for 2.5 years, and my business is bigger than ever? Like, what world is this? What world is this? I remember I was buying some diamonds at David Yurman recently, right? And I was talking about, COVID and the recession, and how we switched over from doing seminars all over the world to doing mentoring online that people from all over the world could take. And he was like, I bet you're just making more money than ever, right? And I'm like, I love you. This guy's the best guy, to be honest with you. And it's so nice to me, he's much to see this. But, I'm like, you make $25 an hour. I run an 8-figure business. Why are you saying things like I make more money than ever after running a consistent way of doing business that I iterated for nearly 2 decades and then on the fly switched over to this whole other way of doing things? Like, you see what I'm saying? But it's always these people that are broke that are always saying, like, better than ever. I bet you went and traveled for 270 days a year out in nature, but you got more fit than ever. Right? Or like maybe like you grinded out your business brutally to get on track. Are you happier than ever? You see where I'm going with this? Yeah. Right? It's like these people that have never done anything, never accomplished anything noteworthy at all, that just think that like, it's almost like Kardashians mentality, where they think it's like, you're the Kardashians, and it's like, because you're like a chosen one, that everything just works out for you. Do you guys ever just feel like if you're a Kardashian, like you just be fit, happy, like have everything because you're just a Kardashian? You ever feel that way? That's like Kardashian reality. The truth is that there's trade-offs, right? Like if you choose to go ski every major ski hill for an entire season, then your business is probably going to be about the same as 4 months ago. Might even be a little bit less good. In my case, it was about the same or a little bit up. It didn't shoot up. It wasn't better than ever. Okay? I didn't get super jacked while I was away from the gym and away from healthy food in LA. Okay? You see where I'm going with this? So there's certain trade-offs that are going to be happening here. But the point being is that have a sense of what you're willing to trade off, and then don't capitulate. Don't capitulate. Don't capitulate. Okay? So what we've looked at so far, okay, what we've done is we've done a general scan of what it is that you want to do. And the main purpose being that I'm trying to take the pie, I'm trying to rub the pie in your face, and I'm trying to get you thinking about what it is that you're trying to build. What I want you to do next is I want you to prioritize these things. So I want you to look at this list, and I want you to start breaking down what it is that you would cut out in terms of priority if you found that you couldn't do everything. So it's just like me on a trip to, say, Oregon or Maine or New Mexico, and I've got 20 things on the list, and I've got, say, 13 or 14 days to do that trip, and I'm trying to do all 20 things. And sadly, over time on the trip, yes, I admit it, I start to realize I'm delusional, and I'm not going to go see all 20 things. But yes, you are. No, you're not. Okay? It's 20 things, there's 13 days. You're better than ever, though. Manifest it. You make $20 an hour. Why are you telling me to manifest something? Like, I actually do stuff. Like, right? It's always the people who don't do a lot and that have done nothing noteworthy that think that you're in this Kardashian reality, but you're like a Kardashian. Like, when you do New Mexico, you just do everything. It just all happens, right? As if you're like in this different world. That's not reality. Reality is sometimes tough. Reality is there's only so many hours in a day. Reality is there's only so much focus in a day. Reality is there's limitations. Now, they're not going to tell you that at most seminars because they're trying to whip you up. You're going to do whatever you want. All of it. It's all going to happen. Doesn't matter that you're 52 and learning to play the saxophone. You're going to be the next Kenny G. Let's just tell you what you want to hear. Just tell me more, baby. Tell me more what I want to hear, baby. Tell me how awesome I am. People come out of those seminars, most of them do nothing. They get a seminar high out of it. They go home, that's it. It actually kind of sucks. But one thing you'll notice about my content was that it's never about a seminar high, even though I do try to give a seminar high. But that's just like one element of what I'm trying to do. I try to send you home inspired as a seminar high. But notice that the big thing in my content has always been very, very action-oriented. So in other words, you come learn from me about social skills, you go out and you do it. You go out and you actually get the result. Notice that I was able to, to create not only just myself, but a team of coaches over the years, all of who made 7-figure incomes, all of who became very, very successful in what they taught, all who had amazing social skills, all who got pretty famous, and so on and so forth, right? Then we had our client base and our student base, and all of them, or the vast majority of them, all of them that applied themselves and actually did it that I ever saw, wound up getting amazing results. I'm sure there's people that slunk off in the corner I never heard from again. But the people that I work with up close were basically pushed and pushed and pushed brutally until they got the result. So what we're looking at here is not some pie in the sky thing. I want to talk about real results. And part of that is, like I said, is prioritization. So next up, what we're going to do is I want you to prioritize what this would look like. So get together in your group and begin to prioritize how it is that you might drop certain things, which things are more important, what is the order of importance, and then from there, as you start to nail down certain aspects of this, then the next thing that you can do is you can maybe reintegrate some of this stuff. Because what happens over time is you get more efficient. Like for example, for me, to figure out how to drive around New Mexico, that took a certain amount of hours. Over time, I learned how to do it more quickly. I learned how to be more efficient. I learned how to move the camera gear more quickly. I learned how to, how to get more juice out of the orange. So over time, you're going to learn to get your time back. Look, truth is, most of you right now can't resist things like gossip, can't resist things like crappy time-wasting social media, can't resist a whole bunch of stuff that wastes your time. But if you start getting more and more locked in on what it is that you want, you're not going to have to exert as much willpower to resist those things. So you'll start getting time back there. Maybe you'll also master certain parts of these processes and outsource them to other people, and then you start getting more time back there. And then you can begin to reintegrate more of these things, right? Maybe in my case, as I keep building this, what I could do is I could actually bring a personal trainer with me and a personal chef. I never got to that point in my journey, but what if I had? And I probably will at some point. Like, you'll probably see videos of me in my 50s and 60s traveling with a personal trainer and a personal chef like a Kardashian. You'd be like, hey, he became a Kardashian. And I'll be like, yes, I'm a Kardashian now, right? Personal chef, personal trainer, private jets, trade on the jets, perfect food, I'm awesome, you all suck, look at me, right? Maybe I'll get to that point. I'm not at that point right now, but I could probably get to that point if I kept down the path, right? Then I'm reclaiming more time. And what would I do with that extra time? Make more money. What would I do with that money? Get a second private chef. Get 2 private planes. Get a private jet pack. Get a personal assistant. I become like a Jetson. You know what I'm saying, right? So, over time, you can actually reintegrate a lot of these things. So at first, you want to prioritize, then make it efficient, then systematize it, and then what you can wind up doing is you can wind up actually bringing in some of the other things that you had to deprioritize right here, okay? So get in your group and look to prioritize what it is that you think has the most value to you, and then look to prioritize or to deprioritize things where if it gets a little bit stuck, you don't give up on the whole thing. Well, I didn't get to spend time with my dog, so now I'm going to be broke forever. Okay? So get in your groups, get some conversations going, and let's talk priorities.
Thank you very much for watching this video about how to prioritize your life. And what I want to do is send you right now to click this link below and jump into this program, Endless Motivation. And this program is going to be me taking you by the hand and walking you past the smoking wreckage of all the thousands and millions and millions and millions of people in the world, billions really, who've never gotten what they want out of life. Life can be really, really, really beautiful, but you've got to be proactive in your own success. You've got to want your own success, and you can't have it to where I want it more than you do. But what I want to do right now is I want to take you by the hand, and I want to get you there. Click the link below. We're going to be going very, very deep inside the program. I'll see you inside.